It stands there, a colossal structure on the old Royal Mint site, just a stone's throw from the Tower of London. On paper, it's the new embassy for the People's Republic of China, a place for visas, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. But as you get closer, as you see the sheer scale of it, you can't help but feel something else is going on. It doesn't feel like just an office building. It feels like a statement. A 700,000 square foot behemoth set to be China's largest diplomatic mission anywhere in the world. I found myself wandering around its perimeter, trying to reconcile the official story with the rather imposing reality. It all seemed a bit much. The official line is, of course, perfectly reasonable. China is a global superpower. Its diplomatic needs have grown. London is a key international hub. Therefore, a bigger, more modern embassy is required. The location itself is steeped in history. For centuries, this was the Royal Mint, the place where Britain's coins were struck. It was a symbol of the nation's wealth and power, a fortress designed to protect the kingdom's treasure. There's a certain irony that this ground, once a bastion of British sovereignty, has been sold to China to build its own modern-day fortress. The old Mint had its secrets. The walls of the new embassy are high, the windows few and far between on the lower levels. The formidable perimeter walls, the reinforced gates, the sheer number of CCTV camera mounts. It's a security posture that seems to go far beyond what's necessary to deter a few protesters. This isn't just about keeping people out, it feels like it's about keeping something in. The history of the Royal Mint included deep vaults and secure foundations built to withstand attack. An intelligence source who would only speak on the condition of anonymity put it to me rather bluntly. You don't build a fortress like that, he said, just to stamp visas. You build it when you have something to protect, or something to hide, or both. The very architecture seems to whisper warnings. It prioritizes security and control, not transparency and openness. It's a building that turns its back on the city. This is where the story gets really interesting. It's what you can't see that fuels the most speculation. Numerous construction workers, speaking off the record, have shared stories that paint a picture of extraordinary underground activity. One contractor described digging down far deeper than a normal basement. We were going down 3, 4, maybe 5 stories. The amount of concrete and reinforced steel being poured was immense. It wasn't for a car park. It felt like we were building a bunker. Then there's the energy data. The site has been drawing a significant, consistent electrical load, far more than typical for a site this size. Possible explanation: server farm cooling and ventilation for high-energy equipment hidden from view. Connecting the dots further, consider London's hidden underground landscape, forgotten tunnels, Victorian-era sewers, old government vaults. An urban explorer who's mapped these networks says it's plausible the embassy basements connect to or monitor this infrastructure. Fiber optic cables, power grids, the things you'd want to tap into. Official plans show modest basements, but anecdotal evidence suggests something much deeper. That discrepancy is the heart of the mystery. The physical structure is intimidating enough, but the real concern is the technology inside. A modern embassy is also a listening post. It's expected to host advanced signals and electronic surveillance. Its location is strategically perfect. Clear line of sight over the City of London, the financial district, worryingly close to government buildings and close to critical communication nodes.
An expert described it simply: think of it as a giant vacuum cleaner for data.
With the right antennas on the roof, they can capture mobile phone calls, Wi-Fi networks, sensitive financial data, diplomatic communications, diplomatic immunity, sovereign territory. You can't inspect the equipment inside. It's the perfect legal black box for espionage. This turns the embassy into a permanent, unsinkable intelligence ship. In 2018, the African Union HQ in Ethiopia was found sending data back to Shanghai every night for 5 years. Servers and microphones had been embedded during construction elsewhere, a proven tactic. The local reaction has been anything but welcoming. From the moment the plans were announced, the residents of Tower Hamlets have been vocal in their opposition. I attended one of the protests outside the site. It was a diverse crowd. There were long-time East Londoners worried about the securitization of their neighbourhood and the loss of a historic site. They complained about the sheer overbearing size of the building. They held signs reading "No Fortress Embassy Here" and spoke of a community under siege. Their concerns were practical: traffic, security cordons, the transformation of public spaces into high-alert zones. Activists from the Uyghur, Tibetan and Hong Kong communities see the embassy as a direct threat. For them, this isn't abstract. It's about the presence of the state that persecutes them established on their doorstep.
This building is a symbol of the power that crushed my home.
We feel watched, we feel unsafe. There have been reports of Chinese dissidents and activists living in the UK being harassed, intimidated and monitored. People reported being followed, receiving threatening messages and having relatives back home pressured. The embassy, with its diplomatic immunity and vast resources, is seen as the mothership for these operations. The local council initially rejected the planning application, but the decision was ultimately taken out of their hands. It's important to understand that the London embassy isn't an isolated case. It's part of a global pattern. All around the world, China has been building or expanding its diplomatic missions on a grand scale. World map with pins showing new large embassies. From Islamabad to Canberra, these new embassies share common characteristics. They are large, they are highly fortified, and they are strategically located. They are often built by Chinese construction companies using their own workforce and sometimes their own materials. This approach ensures complete control over the building process, limiting potential outside infiltration. But it also raises suspicions about what might be built into the structures themselves. This global embassy building spree ties into the Belt and Road Initiative, a projection of soft power with a hard edge. They function as hubs for intelligence gathering. They act as centers for influencing local politics and business. They serve as secure bases for projecting Beijing's power abroad. The London embassy, given its size and location, appears to be the flagship of this entire global strategy. By comparing the London site to others, we can see the blueprint in action. Concerns raised by intelligence agencies elsewhere add to the alarm, and the proven espionage at the African Union provides chilling context. It suggests a coordinated long-term strategy, each embassy a node, and the London one, arguably the most critical node of all. The true nature of what lies beneath the old Royal Mint may remain a secret for years to come, but the building itself is a stark and unavoidable message. It speaks of a new era of great power competition, fought not just with armies and economies, but with surveillance, data and influence. The Dragon has built its lair next to the Tower of London, and the city is still trying to figure out if it's a neighbour or a predator. And I can't help but feel that the answer to that question will define a great deal about our future. Is it a neighbour or a predator? For now, we watch the walls, the trucks, the power readings, and we ask, what is really hidden beneath? The truth may be buried under layers of steel and concrete and diplomatic immunity. But one thing is certain, what lies beneath could change the rules of engagement in the modern world.